Welcome back! Today we are going to be talking about this month's May TBR. I know, right? It's hard to believe that it's already May of this year and there's so many more books to read. It's just mind-boggling. So of course, it's the beginning of the month and this is when I attempt to plan out what I'm going to read, which is probably futile, but let's give it a try. As everyone knows, and when you're seeing this, it's actually gonna be May the 4th, so happy Star Wars Day, everyone. And for that, I am gonna be starting off my month with reading the memoir of, or biography of, George Lucas during a time, specifically when he was doing filming Star Wars. I have started reading this, obviously, so I'm about 50-ish pages in, and it's really good. I'm enjoying it, and I think I talked about it in my last month reading TBR, but I think for May it is, and May the 4th, it is more appropriate. So yes, this is the first book on my TBR. In saying that, because it is May the 4th, which therefore is Star Wars Day, I thought it would be a really good idea to simply try to read as many sci-fi books this month as possible. Or it could also be because I really want to reread Kaiju Preservation Society by John Scalzi, because one of my friends, Oster, just finished reading it and she is going nuts on how good it is, and I really want to read it again. So shout out to Oster because of that. Also, courtesy of Oster, she just really wants me to read Red Shirts by John Scalzi, and so I guess this month I'm going to be reading some about Trekkies, and personally I would rather read about kaijus. So this month is really going to be about really diving deep into my science fiction, which I already do like. I just haven't quite found, besides Kaiju Society, the books that really speak to me in this genre. So that's what we're going to do this month. On top of fangirling about kaijus with my friend, I really want to read Gideon the Ninth. This is a gothic space opera with lesbian necromancers in it, and I have been wanting to read this for so long, and I thought, you know what, May has already started turning out pretty sunshiny, so I'm going to read this in May, and it also fits in with my space and sci-fi kind of themed month we're going for here, and I'm so excited to read it. And also because I know there's the second book, and I think the third book has recently come out, so yeah, just really wanting to dig into. So obviously, as you probably think about this, I'm a huge fan of Godzilla and all that franchise. I'm also a huge nerd when it comes to Pacific Rim, so that's why I really liked that I found Kaiju Preservation Society. And so when I saw I could get a signed copy of Iron Widow, which talks about mecha and a bloodthirsty heroine. This also features armies and military and sacrifices of individuals, because everyone knows that's how you get a really good sci-fi book. I know she has a second book out for this and a third book out, but like as an independent series, a separate one, so I might be having to break the bank a little bit this month to obtain that, but I'm so excited. Next up we have, it just so looks iridescent at this point of view. Oh, that's so beautiful. Next up we have The Map of Time by Felix J. Palma, and this is actually a translation book, and the translator is, let me just see here if I can find the person who translated it. Nick Castor. So originally I believe this was in Spanish, I think, and this is a story about someone tracking down or convincing H.G. Wells to time travel, and he has to investigate and to save the lives of literary classics like Dracula and other books like The Time Machine from going out of existence. And so it's a chunk and a half, this book. I feel like I may have started this when I was a bit too young for it, so that's why I put it down, but now I feel like I'm at an age that I can appreciate not only H.G. Wells, but just the fact that someone decided to stick him in a book. And so I love that. And finally, the last book we have from my shelves is Renegade by Marissa Meyer. Now, I've had this hardcover copy for a while. I think I bought it on sale like 3 years ago, maybe 4, probably about 3, because it was pre-COVID and when I was still living outside of my hometown or home city for work. And so, funny enough, I actually saw last year when I was working at David's Bridal, a kid, teen, whatever, reading this, and I asked her what she thought of this. Read this book. So I just love the fact that she was so passionate about her copy. Like, her copy was ripped and torn, and you could tell just how much she loved it, and that this is something that she has read so many times that the pages were falling out of it. So for that, I am going to definitely give it a read this month, because I am also just a huge fan of Marissa Meyer herself. So I am going to be putting this on my TBR. Oh, and might I add, this is also a chunky book. I don't know why this month, but I guess because of sci-fi, they tend to be on a chunkier side, which I'm not complaining about. I like a good chunky book. Of course, as we all know, these are not going to be all read most likely, and I definitely have other books scattered around the house that I want to read this month. But because I want to focus obviously on books that I own already, these are my top priority books for the month. There are other series that I really want to read, including The Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells. I've already completed the first audiobook of it. They're short, snappy, and so I'm hoping to read the rest of them this month while I'm at work. A couple other contenders that I might look into from getting from the library include anything Octavia Butler. She is a really big name in the science fiction community, and also just a really well-known female author. Now, I'm going to do an entire video on a separate topic about that, because there's also the niche in science fiction of books that are written by female authors but presenting as male with their title, their names of their author names. So that'll be something I think I want to talk about this month, or maybe next month, depending when I can get the time to do the research. The other books that I really would like to read this month are Girl Gone Viral by Arvind Amati, Final Girls by Myra Grant, Remote Control by Indeed Okafor, and Dune by Frank Herbert. So I have a long list, and these are just some of the ones that are also on my list that I'm hoping to read. And if you don't see them being read this month, don't worry, there's always the summer. I apologize, groceries are being put into the fridge right now. And there you have it. These are the top 10 books, or top whatever amount of books that I'm putting priority on this month, because I already own them. So it's a little bit easier, and I can read them far faster than take my time with them, I guess, than something with a library book. Of course, as we all know, I'm probably not going to read every single one of these, but I also have a gravitating list of other books that I want to read, and so they can be swapped out as you already saw. Now, if you've gotten this far into the book, can you drop a little spaceship or an alien or some kind of like sci-fi-ish emoji down in the comments below, and let me know what is your favorite sci-fi author. Have you read an Octavia Butler book? Because I really want to know what Octavia Butler book I should start with, because I have not actually read any. I hope you have a wonderful day, no matter what time of day you are currently watching this. All my love, and I hope to see you on the next side of the page. Bye!